Hey, it's your girl Amber Rose. I schooled them to a lot of feminism. I think I changed a lot of minds today, so hopefully I did, and we'll see. Hollywood Unlocked Uncensored. There comes a point where you have to stop crying over it and you have to make a change. And so people get offended by the word slut and whore and stuff like that. Yep. I'm not going to let that affect me anymore.
Right.
I'm not going to do that. I'm going to own it. And if you don't like it, you can fucking not look at it. Don't look at my bush. Don't look at my fucking pictures on Instagram, and don't follow me.
Well, wait. Let me take control back of the show. So, but that sounds like a leader to me. And that sounds like somebody that wants to be a leader or to lead a movement for all women to not feel the objectification from men or from people or whatever. And I think that, you know, whether or not you want it, you at some point hopefully will come to terms with owning that you have it. And that is what it is. Now, I think the thing for me is to just really be very clear. I don't believe that a man and woman, like if you did date all those people and you did fuck them all, that's your business. I don't care. Like to me, it doesn't, whether a woman, you know.
Yeah, but that's to you, Jay. That's not to the rest of the world.
But let me be very clear. So the world that's listening, because I'm sure people will hear this, is like whether I have dated a bunch of guys or a woman has dated a bunch of guys or whatever, that's your business, is my I don't personally judge. And Hollywood Unlocked never does either. But to be clear, though, I do see the other blogs. I do see, you know, if you do pop up at a basketball game and you're sitting next to somebody, you must be dating. It's not like y'all just happen to have the same courtside area.
Yeah.
So I do.
Well,
get
I actually
that.
have like a really cool friend, and like I wanted to take him to the BET Awards with me. And it's just like, oh man, like I you know, it's like a whole moment of like, you know, this is the craziest shit, right? So I'm me. I'm single.
You're single right now.
I'm single right now. And I want to go on a date. So a guy asked me out on a date. And he's like, yeah, you know, I want to take you out to dinner, maybe to a movie. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. But like, what restaurant? You got to find a restaurant that doesn't have paparazzi in LA. And
or
also,
that nobody will know who you are.
The paparazzi kind of like stays at the end of my block where I live. So like I might have to go around the back way or call an Uber and kind of figure it out. And then when I get there, I have to hope that someone won't take a sneak picture of me, because then it ends up on the internet the next day and I don't even like the guy anymore. Like I went on the date and I don't like him. So now I'm associated with another man where it's like relationship goals. And I'm like, I went on one date with this dude and you don't give me an opportunity to get to know someone. I can't even actually date. If I really wanted to, I can't. So I almost have to have dates at my house or at their house, which is a very intimate setting that I don't usually like to be in. So I refrain from even dating most of the time because I feel paranoid and I have anxiety about just going out. That it was like that for a while. I got to the point now where I'm just like, you know what? If I want to go out on a date, I'm going to fucking do it. And the internet is going to talk shit, Melissa.
No.
They're going to talk shit.
Who doesn't know that? But so question, what,
Yes.
if you want to talk about it or not, what happened between you and Val? Because you guys looked like you guys were really, really happy. He is nothing but the highest praise for you, even after the breakup, which sometimes they don't have for us. How did that situation even come about, and why would you say that it ended? Do you think that maybe possibly your high level of fame just might have been too much for him to handle?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that's the case in a lot of, you know, my relationships. I almost have to date a guy that like is more famous than me or like at my level, because you're never going to understand for situations like that. Babe, let's just walk to the corner store. Okay, like let me, you know, put on a little bit of lip gloss, and he's just like, yo, let's just go. And I'm like, it's not easy for me, honey, because then the next day I wake up and I look like a fucking zombie on the internet and I look crazy.
Then it's another story that you're on drugs or you're sick or you're pregnant or what have you.
You know, and so like I battle with those situations, and most of the time I'm like, fuck it, you know, and then I look crazy, whatever. But he was amazing. I actually spoke to him last night. I'm going to his brother's wedding in a couple days, so he'll be there.
Okay. Well, let me just go back to when you were talking about the parallels between us and the things that you used to think about me and how that evolved.
Right.
I will say this, that I have never, not once, thought that you were promiscuous, a hoe. I thought just the complete opposite. I was like, to me, this looks like a woman that gets into monogamous relationships.
Always.
When I heard the comment, the 30 showers comment, I thought he was the biggest dick in the fucking world for saying something like that about you, because I'm just like, how do
he's guys say derogatory things because they need to feel superior, right? I left him and look at me now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to dumb me down to make you feel better. I wasn't supposed to be here, Melissa.
No, I understand.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, I was supposed to go back to obscurity and shut my mouth and be quiet.
Yeah.
But I didn't, and I flourished, and now I'm here. So
plus he had to say that because of all the other chatter, right? Like the very thing that you're speaking up against, the whole slut shaming and all that. So I have to just distance myself from you, even though I was head over heels in love with you for a while. So that's what they do. That's what a weak man will do.
But then how do you explain for those, for example, you were talking about taking a friend to BET Awards. You have two assistants who are openly gay, went with you to the BET Awards with Black China. You all had amazing, I don't want to call it costume wear, but it was amazing.
That was the VMAs.
One of the award shows was amazing.
Yeah.
You guys were great.
They have faggot all over theirs, and we had gold digger, slut, hoe. Like, it was really
You know
cool.
how to start a conversation without saying anything.
Yeah.
When you, so my question is when you do that, and clearly it's a message to support a conversation around the support of the homosexual or gay community, right?
Yeah.
So when the stuff went on with you and Kanye West, where it was clearly just a shot to emasculate him by talking about anal play, we talk about it on this show as part of our person that's not here today, Gio, but it's a joke because he talks about getting his ass eaten.
Yeah.
Do you feel any sense of responsibility of how that may have impacted him or maybe people in the gay community?
No, because I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
But how you used it, I think, too. Because
Well,
what
yeah,
I got from
I used
it
it
was
to emasculate him, but that's because he, ass play is not gay. We get that on Loveline all the time. Like, a girl's like, oh, my boyfriend wants me to stick, my fingers in his ass. Is he gay? And it's like, no, it's coming from a woman. It's a heterosexual, encounter with each other.
But the narrative that was created from that shot. And you was like,
I
the
get
hashtag.
it, man, but that's like 6 years of me being bullied and not saying anything. Like, I didn't say shit because I didn't want to deal with none of that. Like, I move in a certain way. I'm from Philly. It's like a no snitching rule. Like, we don't do shit like that. We just keep it moving and, killing with success. That's what my mom and dad taught me to do. So that's exactly what I did. But I can't constantly get bullied by you and your other side of your family and shit. Like, I'm not gonna deal with that at a certain point. So I said that and I kept it moving. Speaking
about the other side of the family, would you ever invite Kim Kardashian to host the Slut Walk with you?
I invited her last year. I will invite her again. And, Chloe and Courtney. I don't know if they'll come, but yes, they do get an invite for sure.
Okay, and so with the shot fire to the Kanye West and all of that is in your past, right? So I went back deeper into your past and looked at this interview.
It was pretty far back in the past.
It was real far, but I went even further, I think, and looked at this interview you did with Wendy Williams where you said that Wiz Khalifa was the guy that you were going to marry. This is what you said then.
Yeah.
And I don't get any.
I don't want to really talk about my ex-husband.
Okay. Well, I want you to get married. I'll leave it at that. Did you have any other questions?
No, I remember you guys were really in love and it was really awesome to see. So if it's a touchy subject, we won't go there. But I did want to address, the fact that you were making a parallel between the two of us. And one thing I will say is I will commend you. You took your hurt and you took your pain and you galvanized it into a movement. That was something I couldn't do. Like the internet, like
not easy, babe.
No, it beat me down. Yeah. Like I don't even want to discuss it too much because I'll get emotional.
She struggles with, in this show, we do joke a lot about, I'll talk about brokering her vagina or she'll talk to, but we do talk about stuff. And what'll happen is I'll say, you went on a date with so-and-so or you like so-and-so. Then the blogs, not Hollywood Unlocked, will pick up a story that she fucked him. I think it was Colin Kaepernick we cracked a joke about.
Yeah, exactly.
Melissa, listen.
Yeah.
This is why I'm here for you, babe. I'm here for you. For real. And this is why I take all the punches for you and every girl in here.
Okay.
And I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? Because I done cried it out, girl. I cried it out. And now one motherfucker can say anything to me now. Mm-hmm. So I do that for you, straight up. Well, and that's why, like, I know it's not easy.
Yeah.
But I continued. See, if you would have went up a little bit more, it's not, I'm telling you, it was at a point where I literally had to be like, shake it off and be like, when I say I don't give a fuck, I need to really not give a fuck.
Yeah.
I can't say I don't give a fuck and then be at home in my room crying over this shit. Mm-hmm. I have to really not fully give a fuck. And once you get enlightened to that point, you're gonna be so fucking happy.
I gave a lot of fucks. It's only been in the last few years that I've kind of shed that because I've come into my own. But just, you know, coming up doing music videos and being on the covers of magazines, you know, of course I had a massive fan base, but the criticism was always from women. They made me feel like I was responsible for racial genocide, and I was just like, these are fucking pictures in men's magazines where you've got to be. I'm not parenting your child. I had the same rhetoric as you, absolutely. So I am glad that you came on the show to really educate us on what the slut walk means to you, like the whole, the word slut and how it has affected your life.
I thought you would be the first in line at Slut Walk. I thought you were going to be there. Like, I'm like, where's Melissa Ford at? Shit. You know, because I mean, if Slut Walk is anybody, Slut Walk is you. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? And the women and the guys beating you down, bullying you for years, saying, you know, shit that one is not true, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so then you have to be like, I can't put out a press release. I gotta tweet it. And then motherfuckers gonna be like, bitch, you lying. Yeah. You know you did it anyway. It's frustrating as fuck.
Yeah.
Where you get to the point where you're just like, I'm gonna open my legs and shove my fucking vagina and bush in your face until you get to the point where you need to understand that I don't give a fuck.
That is
and
definitely
I'm not
the
going to let you hurt me anymore.
I'm Canadian and we're sensitive.
I think the problem is, like, before this interview, a lot of people haven't really heard it articulated like that. I know true. I haven't. I just want to, I haven't.
Well, that's why from the first Slut Walk to the second Slut Walk was, you know, 11,000 people showed up the second time because I've done interviews like this throughout that year. And now the third annual one is coming up. So this is even more people that, you know, watch this show, can tune in and really see exactly what it is.
What would you say to people who haven't been able to hear this whole interview, right? Like, I struggled. I wanted to go support you because I get it. I get how painful it is to be labeled something that you're not, and you're constantly trying to get people to believe you, and the more you talk, you're digging deeper because of, no, you're lying. Yeah, and then women, we're devalued by the number of lovers we have, where men are, their value goes up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, you can be so devalued by a false narrative and a false list that a bitter ex-husband or a bitter ex-boyfriend has against you, and you did nothing wrong but leave that person.
Yeah.
So what would you say to someone, because again, we have that in common, a victim of sexual abuse, been through all that. Yes. But where do you go from, okay, I'm taking back the word, and how is this beneficial to people? Like, I need you to, like, articulate that exactly. Like, how do you?
It's just like the N word, you know, for Black people.
So just taking back the control of the word.
You take it back, and you know, and you don't let it hurt you anymore.
So overuse of the word diffuses the word is your mindset.
Well, listen, if I put I'm a slut in the caption of a picture, and then everyone's like, you're a slut.
It's like I just said that.
I am.
Do you really think that you can do that with the slut and
the N-word? That's interesting. So with Floyd, he doesn't use the word nigga. He just doesn't believe in the use of the word nigga. Oprah talked about it before.
I remember that.
And I think with their perspectives, I mean, I haven't talked to Oprah about that, but talking to Floyd is just that the use of it, just there's a lot of history with the use of the word, right? So your perspective is, rather than the history of the word condemning you from being able to have power, just take control of it and use it. And
Yeah, I mean, listen, to each his own, you know, whatever you're comfortable with, that works for me and my girls and people that come to Slut Walk. You know, it helps us. Mm-hmm. It helps us to just own it. And like I said, I'm a slut.
I have a question.
That's cool.
One more question. So, or two more questions, but I'll start with one. So, when you were with Kanye West, you were known for not speaking and what you were wearing. Then later, I think, became known for what you were saying and what you were not wearing. What was the transition?
Well, because I was like, just because that's my boyfriend doesn't mean I'm famous. Like, why are you asking me to do interviews? Or why do you want to take a picture of me? Like, I'm not the famous one, he is.
Well, you're a lot easier on the eyes. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say that.
I mean, it was just slightly, like that. But
just so slightly. No.
Not going to let y'all shame that man like that.
No, but he would push me and he would be like, babe, go do it. Like, you should do it, you know? And I'm like, nah, it's just not my thing. Like, I was very shy and I, like Melissa said, I had always been in long-term relationships. I never had a fuck buddy. I never had a threesome. I had my first threesome, well, one threesome ever in my life, was like this past year. And I just did it because I was like, I should probably try it because, you know.
Who was in it? Who was in it?
None of your business.
We were just talking about that kind of thing.
But they are both
before
famous.
You got here.
Geez,
really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jason's going to be like a dog with a bone.
You said someone famous?
No, they're both famous. Yeah.
Oh, famous
man.
Sandwich.
And you're not going to tell us. That's fucked up.
I'm not going to tell you.
Okay.
But
well, congratulations, though.
It was amazing. It was just like kind of like switching back and forth from me and her, changing the condom. It was too technical. I'm more passionate. I really didn't. It was just too much for me.
Was there a production around this? TV production? Like, did you film it?
Fuck out of here,
I'm
Jason. Stop. No.
Okay.
It was very, intimate behind closed doors.
Where do you see the Slut Walk going? Like, what kind of stuff do you do besides you guys march and everybody dresses like real sexy, right? And so, like, what other things you guys do there?
Okay, so this year, like I said, we're expecting about 17,000, maybe more. Because last year we expected 8 and we got 11, so that was cool. And so this year, last year we walked for 3 or 4 blocks. This year we're walking a full mile. Mm-hmm. And then we also have a full festival for the rest of the day. Mm-hmm. And so we have live performances, we have poetry, we have counseling for victims. We have what else?
I know you partner with the LA AIDS Foundation, right? So I'm sure
we
testing.
partner, right? We have HIV and AIDS testing. And so last year we incorporated the LGBT community as well because a lot of gay men get raped and victimized, I
actually got Zeke Thomas, Zaya Thomas's son, reached out to me to interview him. He was met somebody on Grindr, ended up getting raped. Mm-hmm. I didn't even know that was a prevalent issue until I was telling a friend at dinner about it, and he was like, well, I've been raped too. I'm like, what? Right. So yeah, there is a lot of.
But a lot of gay men get raped, and then they don't go to the authorities because usually what the authorities would say is, well, you just said that you had a full-on orgy last week, and this guy was involved, and now all of a sudden you're raped. And it's like, yes, it doesn't matter if I had consensual sex with him last week. He raped me last night.
Or a woman who's a prostitute who ends up being raped.
100%. Yeah. 100%. There are women that have been raped by their boyfriends and their husbands. Mm-hmm. So that's the awareness that we're bringing with Slut Walk. Also, victim blaming is,
is a real problem.
It's like, why were you at his house 12 o'clock at night?
I overstand.
Yeah.
Why did you have those short shorts on at that party? Yeah. I mean, did you not come to fuck?
Yeah.
And so that's everything that we talk about with Slut Walk. And so it's just, it's more than just Amber Rose putting her bush on the internet. It's more than that. And that's why all the feminist blogs, all the girls that are going ham on everybody, all my little feminists and my rosebuds, they fucking get it because they were there and we changed lives the past 2 years. And we're going to continue to do it whether people like it or not.
Was it strategic? I'm sorry, I have to ask. Was it strategic that you dropped the photo during Game 4?
It was not. And it's so crazy because I don't watch basketball like that. I was actually getting a
You're
tattoo.
the reason why the fucking Cavs lost, by the way. So you know.
Is that right?
And
So
I know it's hard for people to believe, but I was actually getting a tattoo and I was watching Orange is the New Black on Netflix. And I was like, let me just fucking put this shit out.
Okay, so Piers Morgan, he's just fucking mad.
He's an asshole.
He's so mad.
And you went back and forth. Clearly, you gave him a few thousand probably Instagram followers or Twitter followers by this back and forth.
Yeah, he's blowing me up every day.
So
he's trying to fly me to London, put me up in a hotel for a few days.
And you said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna just go to Dash."
Right, exactly. But yeah, I mean, like the thing with him is like, bro, I got shit to do. You know what I mean? Like I'm working on a lot of cool things right now. I can't just get up and leave my kid and like, and just go to London for a couple of days. Like I have a full schedule. He wants me to go and have an interview with him. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'll have an interview with you, but I need you to come to LA. And you come to LA. I know you come to LA. So when you do, that's when I'll come and have an interview with you.
Do you think his attack was just, what did you think that was?
I mean, the fact of the matter is that he said, put it away. You don't say it, and you don't tell a woman what to do with her sexuality. You can't do that. You're not a woman. You don't know what that's like. Mm-hmm. And then I posted a picture of Adam Levine, and it was a girl
holding his balls,
holding his dick and balls. And I was like, is this attention seeking?
That was a photo.
And he was like, no, this is for testicular cancer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, I thought the response was fucking dumb because I mean, I don't think he thought. I think you come out very strategic. You come out very that's not to say that.
Man, God put me in situations to just make it happen that way.
His dumb ass in the media should have knew how to respond to that fucking picture.
At the end of the day, Piers Morgan is in London and he wants an interview with me because I put my bush on the internet. So who fucking won?
So is that power? Is that pussy power in its
pussy
glory?
Power? Hashtag pussy power.
He likes to poke his nose into things a lot of times to get attention.
Not vagina because he told her to put it away.
Well, yeah, maybe not that.
And then I told him
the back and forth was fucking hilarious.
I would make him my little submissive bitch and he would love every second of it.
Yeah.
He probably likes to be like,
trust me, in the strip club, I run into white men in suits like that. They like to be spit in their face, kicked in their ass, and then they give you money.
Right.
Yeah, I could
tell he reeks of that.
I had a white man ask me to pee in his mouth. It was a little cross the line for me.
So how many times you do it?
Anyway, so I think that the most offensive thing.
So after I pees in his mouth.
The most offensive thing between that back and forth was the Burger King photo that he posted. Mm-hmm. It just was. I
didn't see it.
This is on behalf of men. I'm like, you're fucking naked for a burger. I can't.
I didn't see it.
I'll show it to you. Yeah, no, his argument did fall flat. You kind of owned him on that
Piers.
one.
Okay, so going back to the slut walk, just so we're very clear, because where I am just still a little conflicted, because I will tell you that in doing research and talking to you on the phone, and you come in here and not dodging a question, not asking to know the questions before you come here, not saying there was a topic off limits, not making it very clear that you will go here, go there, didn't give us a time restriction. Mm-hmm. So I appreciate that.
I'm here. I actually, from 12 to 4, I blocked out 12 to 4 today.
What are you going to do?
I didn't know shit. I didn't know how long it was going to take.
Well, we interviewed Floyd for 5 hours. We can't do that. But let me ask you this. This is where I'm still conflicted. How can people, say like me or in the media, or people in general like brands or companies or other partners, help create programs after the event? Because when I did the Trayvon Martin campaign in 2012, and this is what resonated to me on the phone, you said to you as a woman, this issue impacted you, and that's why you decided to deal with that issue, the slut walk.
Yes.
For me, when Trayvon Martin got murdered, I had been shot. I had watched my brother get murdered. It impacted me, so I got involved. I did this big event, not as big as yours, but it was big, with Trayvon's mom. But I didn't think about what do we do after the event. You know, so or have you thought about scholarships or programs for the younger girls? If tailoring messaging to be able to cure the issue I talked about my niece, like getting to them, so that way at an early age they start to own themselves before they do get subjected to Piers Morgan's or the media and stuff like that.
Yeah, we started a slut walk feminist art exhibit that we're trying to do at what is it?
Art Basel?
Yeah, Art Basel.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And also, all those things cost money. And I feel like that's what people don't understand. It's like, everything costs money. So as we grow, this is only the 3rd annual one, we will be able to help more, like the counselors that help with rape victims there. You know, this is all volunteer work. This is a nonprofit. And so we really depend on donations and sponsors.
So is it more?
So we are non-profitable at this point. The
501c3.
We have not made any money at all every year. We might make money this year coming up, but we also get brands to kind of buy it out so people can come for free. Because if not, I have to charge people, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like I don't want to do that, so I try to get a brand to actually take care of everyone's ticket.
So is the idea that the Slut Walk, so I'm clear, is more of just an awareness event, awareness campaign to bring awareness to shaming, not a foundation designed to create actual programs just yet?
Not
like
yet.
A scholarship, or
not yet.
But your plans to evolve into that? Yeah,
absolutely. It's like the AIDS Walk. You know, the AIDS Walk is to bring awareness and raise money as well. But yeah, that's exactly what it is. And it's also a day. So this year we have 2 days. We're doing September 30th with it, which is the Women's Conference. And we're going to talk about racism and feminism, which is like a thing. You didn't know bushes were a thing, but you know, I went to a college and I'm on stage and, you know, we're talking about feminism and stuff. And this black girl stood up and she was like, well, what are you doing for black women in feminism? And I was like, well, you know, my Slut Walk, I would say is probably 65, 70% black women. And she's like, yeah, but what are you doing specifically for black women? And I was like, well, my Slut Walk is for all women. We do, you know, it's for all women so we can all benefit, and then also have a celebration of women that day, so you guys can be, you know, in a safe zone with security, wear what you want, dance, have fun, talk to who you want to talk to. And she was like, you're colorblind. And she walked away and she took a lot of the black girls with her that were at the college.
Wow.
And I was like, I wasn't prepared for that, because the difference with me is that I am multiracial, but I'm also very light-skinned. I went to an all-black school. So I wasn't the black girl in school. I was the white girl in school. So I didn't fully understand that. And so I've been talking to, you know, darker women like Bria Miles. I had a conversation with her and I was just like, is this a thing? She said that she doesn't feel like it's a thing, but I think it's a conversation that we should have. And that's one of the main conversations we're going to have at the women's conference this year.
It's a conversation that needs to be had. The thing with feminism, there's been some holes in the kind of poked into the feminist movement, because it seems like there is a disconnect, and a lot of times the white feminists are not necessarily there for the black women, and it's a whole.
They ain't there for me at all.
They're not. So, like, for example, when we were all, you know, protesting against Donald Trump and all that kind of stuff, like, we all came out and we support. And a lot of times, a lot of white feminists are silent on black women's issues. A lot of times, we don't see them.
Right.
And a lot of times black women are constantly supporting the feminist movement, but then we don't get that in return for our issues when our sons are murdered. You know what I mean? So there's been a lot of that in the past year. What was that march we had down in LA?
It was the Women's March.
The Women's March.
Okay, the Women's March.
Like, I think you were at the Women's March, right?
I was. And fun fact, my team put together the Women's March. We are the ones that, because that's where we have our Slut Walk. So, you know, just watching a lot of the people that I called personally to come to my Slut Walk that refused to come, but were at the Women's March.
That's what I was going to ask you.
With the same signs that we have at Slut Walk, like Pussy Power and My Pussy, My Choice.
And the pussy hats.
And the pussy, and all that shit. But literally, it did not say Slut Walk. It said Women's March. And they all came out. And you know, I was really appalled because these girls are like, we're feminists. Literally everything, like, the fact that happened at that college, I could be like, look, whatever, I don't give a fuck. But I'm like, you know, I give a fuck. I care.
But that's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna ask. So, because I saw that you were there, I saw you posted that you were there. Mm-hmm. What do you think made people show up for that, but not show up for Slut Walk? Is it the word slut because of?
No,
what?
it's because it was all over the news. It was like
because it was more of like a.
It was protesting Trump. That was the heart of the issue.
It was like
grab him by the pussy thing. That's what that was about.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's what's gonna make our Slut Walk that much bigger this year because there's so many new feminists,
right?
Because of Trump.
Yeah,
I've spoken to people about this issue with your march versus the Women's March, and I was at the Women's March as well. And
yes, that was I.
The common
denominator
theme is the word slut. So even though you're working against neutralizing that word slut, it's still not neutralized because that's what people are running from. They're running from that word. So people that are celebrities or whatever or have brands, they may say, I can support something that says Women's March because that's safe, but I can't support something that says Slut Walk just yet. So that's what the issue is.
But there's also
they want to, but they're listening to their publicists.
Right. Or there's people that store food in their refrigerator, but can't fuck with niggas, and we created the refrigerator.
You know what, Jason?
It's true. What would you do with your food if you couldn't have a refrigerator?
But I'm just saying there's more conversations that need to be had, and more conversations like this where you're like articulating exactly why.
Well, what I love is that you're not allowed, because I will say, I said this to her on the phone and I'll admit it, like your platform is way bigger than ours. You don't have to be here. I think the fact that you have set your celebrity aside to be able to get to people, whether it's the Piers Morgans or Hollywood Unlocked Uncensored or whatever. So, I mean, I just think if I could say my own part is just the messaging. I think if the messaging is really crisp at the Slut Walk, clearly it's growing in numbers, so there's more bodies in the room. But getting the bodies in the room is half the battle. Getting them to walk away with, now we got to do this, we got to do this, we got to do that. You know, you have people now like Auntie Maxine Waters, who's like out there really trying to get. So
great.
Yeah.
I love her. Our camera guy ran into her the other day and didn't invite us to the show. I'm so fucking mad. But no, I mean, like, I think the messaging, if people could get it, because everybody don't have this opportunity, you know?
Yeah, and everyone doesn't give a shit to look it up. There's a website that I made sure this website is so simple that
the website's amazing.
The website is so simple. Is it not simple?
It is.
It's not hard to navigate. Everything is right there in front of you.
But I mean, like, let's part.
But the thing of it is, I started Slut Walk with 4 girls, right, and my team, of course, but 4 girls that wanted to start like a production company, and they're 4 feminists. And now, they have about, how many people do they have now? They have over 30 people. They have a whole floor, in downtown LA. They have like huge offices. Like we have like a Slut Walk, gigantic, huge office. All these offices now. And it's like a really big thing. So every year that we grow, it takes us a full year to get it off the ground. So yes, some things are going to fall through the cracks. If I'm taking care of 11,000 people and, you didn't like one thing, sorry. It's a nonprofit, like we're trying. So
do you want the word slut neutralized or eradicated, just done with? Like, do you want to make it like where it's not a good thing, but like
we're indifferent to the word? We hear it and it's just like it rolls off of our shoulders, or do you just want it to be a word that's just no longer used anymore?
I don't think it's ever gonna go away, and I'm a realist.
But if you just like in a dream, ideal world, ideal situation, like what would you want? Like,
there's no derogatory labels at all, like not faggot, homo, tranny.
I say tranny on the show all the time. Is that a bad term?
I think so. I mean, I do know some transsexual, transgender people that kind of don't give a fuck, but maybe they're like me, right? But they're just like, fuck it. So people say.
So your belief is that no matter what someone does, there should be no label on them at all. It just should never be like there's no ceiling.
Mind your business and let people live and do what the fuck they want, and stop making assumptions on other people's lives.
So do you feel like there should be?
But in an ideal world, yeah, of course, I don't want derogatory labels, but that's not realistic. Just like, religion is a never-ending conversation. Racism is a never-ending conversation. It's never gonna go away.
Right.
So either you just embrace it and be like, you know what, I'm not gonna let that hurt me anymore. Or you sit at home and cry and, feel bad for yourself.
I guess I'm saying is like, is there no ceiling on anything? So it's just like anything goes.
That's basically what I was going to ask.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like no matter what someone does, if they like went through 1 million partners, literally, are we not allowed to therefore say anything about? Is that like where?
No, it's her pussy, her choice. That's the whole point.
For it being her choice, are people that see it not allowed to say anything about it?
Well,
I don't think so. Are you going to say anything to Lil Wayne or Future or?
I actually judge men and women equally. Like I am not of that camp.
I don't think you do.
I actually do. I do not want a male thought, I guess you'd say. Like I don't want a promiscuous male either.
I do. I want to be with a hoe. I want to be with a guy.
I don't want to be with a hoe. I want a middle of the range.
She said earlier.
No, I want a guy that tried everything already.
She said earlier,
so he don't hit me with no crazy.
She said earlier, hoe is life. It's funny. I saw on Instagram somebody had posted a calendar of July and it said hoeing all summer. So that might go up later on today. I'm not as. I will say I've learned more since our conversation, and I want to learn more because not for the sake of at all taking a position on what's right or wrong. My criticism was I'm unclear on what the fuck is happening, right? I did go to the first Slut Walk. I didn't go to the last one. My managing editor back there, my team, they're fans. I call them sheep, Amber Rose sheep, because you can do no wrong. You can say, kill a motherfucker at Wendy's and get a burger for free.
Hey, guys.
They will kill a motherfucker at Wendy's and get that free burger and go to jail, but they'll still get the free burger. So my thing is just the messaging. Like, how can we make the messages a little bit more crisp, and then what can people do that are watching to help the movement so that way that you do have the funding for programs?
If you have ever been raped, sexually assaulted, victim blamed, slut shamed, dealt with double standards, if you have a mother that, that's the thing, guys don't look at their mothers. If you have a mother and your brothers and sisters have different fathers, technically your mom's a hoe. So as far as society standards would say. So if you can call somebody else a hoe, look at your mom, look at your family. I've spoken to like rappers that are like, well, I have 3 brothers, from my mom and like 3 different dads, but that's my fucking mom.
Right.
And I said, you know what? I'm somebody's fucking mom too. You know what I'm saying? So understand every time you say that and you put that out into the universe that you are talking about someone's mom, someone's daughter, someone's niece, and fully understand that it is an extreme form of bullying. Also in the gay community, you guys deal with it. You guys have it really bad as well. We incorporated that into our Slut Walk. Because it's just unfair and it's derogatory labels. They have to call you a faggot to make it seem like you are not tough, one. You're sensitive. You're not going to be able to get the job done. Your feelings are going to get involved. Same reason why Hillary Clinton is not in office right now, because she has a vagina and they felt like she was going to be too emotional. So they picked someone less qualified with a penis, and look where we are. This is everything that has to do with Slut Walk. This is why I'm so passionate about it. And yes, putting out a picture with my bush out is on purpose to start a conversation so people can be like, well, what is this? What is Slut Walk? Why did she do that? Let me look into it. Here's her website. Oh, I get it. I've been, slut shamed and victim blamed and raped before. A lot of women have been raped and don't even realize that they've been raped. A lot of guys have raped women and are just sitting at home fucking watching this video like, she did say no, but like, fuck it. Or she told me that I could fuck the night before and she was, drunk, so I fucked her. Big deal. That's rape.
I think, again, like to piggyback off what Jason said, the messaging needs to be a little bit more crisp, because being a victim of sexual assault.
Babe, it's all of the above. I don't understand how you guys don't understand.
Well, if we don't understand, we don't understand.
Then go to the website and look it up.
But I have you right here, and I just want to talk to you about it. Like, I think the last thing a woman that has been raped or molested wants to embrace is the word slut.
Yeah, but guess what? Women that have been raped and molested have been called sluts.
I know this.
Right? Because it's their fault, right? That it happened. you shouldn't have been in the room. You're a slut. You know, you're out fucking all these boys. You think he's not going to want to fuck too? This is the whole thing. The reason why Slut Walk started was because a woman was sexually assaulted on a college campus, right? The authorities said, well, you know, you girls can't dress like sluts and expect these guys to not want to touch you inappropriately.
That actually happened at the university I went to. It was York University in Toronto.
There you go.
Yeah.
And so then at what point do we tell the guys not to rape and not to touch without consent? We always go to the women and we say, cover up, girls. You know, don't wear that because there's bad guys out there that'll touch you. We need to teach our boys that you have to ask for consent. There has to be consent. I don't care if I'm sitting here with my legs open with no shirt on. If I don't tell you to touch me, don't fucking touch me. Period. So it's all of the above. It's everything. And I get it. No one wants to be called a slut. I don't want to be called a slut. She didn't want to be called a slut the whole time. We don't want that. It's just what it is.
So I'm just saying that's the answer to why some people are having a hard time getting on board.
But here's what's happening. This is what's happening. There's two different things going on. She has her perspective and her platform, which I get now.
I get it too.
You have a perspective which some people share, which I get too. I think what is clear to me is the photo that you put out last week or this week or whenever was to create a conversation. It didn't have a caption to drive a narrative. It didn't have a caption.
It said Amber Rose Slut Walk.
Other than that, right, was to drive the conversation. So I guess I think you just have to agree to disagree on some things.
No, because I
but I know stuff, you
I'm not like the stuff you're making legitimate points, and I'm not arguing that at all. I support that. I get it. I get the slut shaming. I get the double standards that are awful. I get, especially when it applies to black girls, we get it even more.
Right.
Like I feel like we're judged at a white girl can get away with so much more stuff that we can't do.
Right.
Marketing wise, just being out there, they can date as many people. They don't get that label like we get. I am with you 1,000%. All I'm saying is like, I just think there's this just one little through line missing. Like, okay, I get it. I want to support. I'm with you on all that stuff. But like, how do I go there and take away something besides going there and, I'm gonna dress sexy and be with other people? And it's like, fuck the slut word. We're not gonna let that hurt us anymore. But then where do we go from there? You know what I mean? Like, again, just like a message.
Spread the word.
Well, I think it's similar to the gay pride, right? Not everybody that goes there is gay. Not everybody that goes there has had the gay experience. Like I took somebody from my team this week who's never been exposed to it. In fact, he was the same guy you ran into in Philly, by the way. He was very uncomfortable with the thought of going. You know what I said? You got to be there all day, and you have to do all the interviews, and you have to go out there and talk to people. He got on stage to introduce me, and he went on and on and on because he was overwhelmed by the experience of having experienced it. And I think what I'm trying to make the connection, I think I'm getting, is that if people are exposed to the slut walk movement and actually go out instead of judging it on its face or the discomfort of maybe some of the words or terminologies or whatever the misnomers may be, if they just go and touch it or see it or experience it, maybe they'll walk away with eyes open.
It will change your life. It will definitely change your life. And also, as women, we're almost not allowed to be confident in our sexuality, right? So like, if you love to give head and that's like your thing, you're like, I love giving guys head. I love the way they squirm when I give them head, and that shit fucking turns me on. You're just a hoe. Right. You're a dick sucking asshole. You just suck dick all day.
So if you're a dick sucking asshole in the room,
everyone is a dick sucking asshole.
I think I get it. I'll be there.
That's it.
All you gotta do is call me a dick sucking asshole, and I got it.
And now it's crystal fucking clear.
And everyone at Slut Walk is that, because regardless if you like it or not, no one will judge you. We all love each other. It is a safe place for you to be a dick sucking asshole and someone come up to you and be like, girl, I love you for that because you're owning that shit.
The concern that I have now is that after almost 2 hours of talking, you've connected on being a dick sucking asshole.
I just want to see the takeaway when you leave. You know what I mean? I like the part, I didn't know that there was a part of it that addresses victims of, sexual assault and rape and all that kind of stuff, because we don't see that. Like if you're an outsider looking in, which I I will admit that I am when it comes to this. I just see, okay, is it an excuse like Halloween in LA just to dress up sexy and just have fun?
Halloween in LA is the best.
Right,
it's the best
it
ever.
is fun. It is fun. So I'm speaking because I called friends before this interview. What do you think? I want to ask legit questions. I don't just want to just be like, oh, it's great. No, I want to ask you questions that get
for sure.
For the person that doesn't understand, the person that will never be able to go to the Slut Walk, that lives in the Midwest or whatever, that just can't get out here. Why? You know what I mean? Just to make it very painfully clear, because you have to these days with people.
I think she did, and I think that you know, just like with the LA Pride movement, the first day Keith didn't, I don't think, got it all the way. I think it was the second day where it really set in. I went to the first Slut Walk. I had my first event. Your first one, you're figuring it out. You're shaping it. It's whatever. I wasn't clear on the takeaway, so that's why I just told my team we're not going to go back this year, but. Again, it was without all the information that we had today. Yeah. I think for those listening that are still going to struggle with, you know, what do we say to the little kids? Because there has to be something. If you think about, you know, the work I did in education when we were doing ed reform, right? Kids who don't learn how to read by the age of 3, 4, that aren't saying words and knowing how to shape words, they're going to have problems down the line. Like they're going to struggle. So early on, like there are the 18-year-olds and the 19, the college students and the Melissas and you and whatever who are going to be like, okay, I get it. Like, okay, pussy power taking control. But what led me to really getting involved with the anti-violence program and the Trayvon Martin thing was the thought that my niece can walk to school and get shot out here. Like, this is fucking crazy. So I'm going to get involved to do something. But I wasn't really clear on what I do after the event. And that, I think, is what I, you know, maybe there's...
But babe, listen, don't feel bad about that. Because everyone that's like, you know, trolling us or me more so, you know, it's like, what are you doing? What are you out there doing for your
not the
community?
critics. No, not the critics. Because I learned after loving hip hop, fuck everything online.
Yeah.
I'm talking more about those kids who stood in line who I didn't even know. This one kid, I went to a school. He was a 4th grader. He said, have you been shot? I said, well, I mean, because I wasn't ready for that. I said, yeah, I have been shot. And he said, well, I don't want to get shot. I said, okay. He said, my brother got shot. I said, how old's your brother? He said, he's 1. This is a class full of 4th graders. And I'm thinking, what? Okay. And I said, well, you're not going to get shot. He said, I just don't want to die. It blew my mind, right? So I have this big event. Then afterwards, I had no programmings. I had nothing established because I didn't have the wherewithal to think about after the event. So that's what I'm thinking.
I mean, I understand that, but I don't think you should beat yourself up for that. And I think that, you know, you have to start somewhere and you have to grow. Yeah. And that's the thing. People are just like, do all this and do it right now and get it done. It doesn't work like that.
It's not that easy.
It's not easy. It takes time. You need to hire people to help you. You know, you're only one person. You need to figure out how to do it the best way. You need to find money. You need to get donations. Those things aren't easy. So you kind of just, you figure it out as you go. And that's what we did.
So feminism, like the gay movement, the LGBTQ, let me be proper here, LGBTQ movement, the movement for civil rights.
Isn't there an I on the end of it now?
I don't know. I'm not
I think there is
inquiring. I'm not adding another fucking letter.
It's too many letters already.
Everybody who is...
And what is it? Not non-binary?
In a protected class movement. Okay.
There we go.
I had a moment.
There's that edumacation.
I'm smart.
Sorry.
I did have a moment when you left because I was thinking, okay, I think from time to time. I get putting the photo out, allowing people to objectify you, to absorb all of that energy, to say, look, it's cool. I'm unbreakable. It is what it is. I own my body. I claim control. I get that. I get the other perspectives too with the kids and the programming, and I get that we have to. There's levels to it. We got to grow.
Right.
So you had a question specifically about feminism, though, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you do address yourself as a feminist,
yes.
And there's different political movements in the whole idea of feminism. There is just women fighting for equal rights at work. Reproductive rights, public office, the right to vote, et cetera, et cetera. Do you feel like your particular sect of feminism compromises other levels of feminism?
I feel like there's other kinds of feminism.
Right.
It's kind of like, let me see.
So if we're fighting for workplace equality, if there's a group of women fighting for workplace equality, to be seen as equal to their male counterparts, to be paid exactly the same, do you think that the liberation of our physical bodies might possibly compromise that particular fight?
Yeah, but not if we get more guys on board to understand, what we go through. I think that's one of the main reasons why I'm here. I could have called Jason and cursed him out.
Yes, you could have. Yes, you could have.
But I said, you know what? This is the opportunity to educate people that watch this show.
You did tell me I was ignorant.
It was ignorant because you did no research.
Right.
You can't not do research and then have an opinion. It doesn't work like that.
Well, there was we write stories and we wrote about the first Slut Walk. There was research into what the Slut Walk establishment was, how it was established. But in terms of like after programming, the further development of event to message to programs, it's an evolving process.
Yeah.
So for like the Gloria Steinems who are out there and for the Amber Roses, where's the line in between that? Where's the connecting dots between
that?
We all want equality.
And yours is more around focusing in on the slut shaming, the sexual part of it, the physical part of it, versus Oprah who may open a school for girls. Hers is education.
Yeah, can I make a suggestion? In terms of growing the whole Slut Walk movement?
Sure.
Is, in the fact that Jason and Claudia were both saying, like, what happens, you build up all this momentum and then the event happens and then there's what happens next? I feel like there's a curriculum that's kind of missing, and I feel like in part of that curriculum, what needs to happen is there needs to be an education of men in order to sensitize them to women's issues in a way that they
We do that. We do that with all male colleges.
I was going to say, do you have like a brother organization that you partnered up with? Okay.
No. So we
holler out there.
Yeah, we basically go on to was the male college we went to?
Morehouse?
Was it more? No, it wasn't Morehouse. But yeah, and so we started that the past year, and like we just said, you work up to things and you figure it out because Slut Walk is getting bigger. I think people fail to realize that I have a family to take care of as well, so I have other jobs that I need to actually make money from. Slut Walk, I don't make money. Obviously, anything that I do when I go, I try to do everything for free. And so that takes a lot of time away from my family, traveling and stuff like that. But we did start doing that as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and it is educating men a lot. My security, Big B right here, he's a straight guy. He's Cuban. He's from Miami. He grew up.
He frequently cooks on your Instagram too.
He does cook. Yeah, he cooks. But being, of Latin descent and growing up in Miami, he has told me that, it's kind of macho to be like, she's a hoe and I fucked her and blah, blah, blah. Then he started working for me 2 years ago and now he's a feminist and he gets it. And if you see his Instagram, he's hilarious. But he has my back 100% and he respects women in a different way. And it's beautiful. So if I can change him and change, a couple other guys that work for me as well, I feel like I'm changing society in a way.
I would agree with that.
It's important.
I would definitely agree with that. Okay. And I'll check out your Instagram.
I'm sure you will.
Because I'm an undercover fat ass. Shut up, Jason.
So we've talked about and covered a lot of things here. I'll continue to do my research. Hopefully, I'm not as ignorant today as I was yesterday and last week when you called. By the way, I didn't believe that was you on the phone because you were
like, is this
I said, what? Shut the fuck
Amber
up.
Rose?
Because I
said, yeah, motherfucker, we got a problem. What's going on?
Actually, you said, why are you so mad? I go,
Did
what?
I?
Yeah, it was funny. All right, so now I do appreciate you giving us this opportunity because you didn't have
thank
to.
you. For
and I can definitely
me.
say that Claudia and I will be at the Slut Walk this year. Yes.
And
I'm coming in a thong.
And I have, and as I learn more, I mean, I don't want to just point out what I perceive as issues. Like I do have some ideas. I'll share with you.
You said you were going to get someone to call me. Who was it?
Well, I said I was going to talk to Floyd.
No, it wasn't Floyd. It was somebody else. It was a girl.
A woman.
Didn't you say you were gonna get? I told her. I said.
Who was it? Oh, Karen Civil. Yes.
Yes.
I will talk to Karen Civil
Tell
when I leave
her to
here.
call me.
She was really struggling with. It was one particular comment. I'm not going to say who, but it was one particular comment that really, really bothered her. And I think she was saying, I'm evolving as a woman, and there are many layers to me as a woman. And it was that conversation that, because I know Karen on a real deeper level, that I was able to see what you were saying on the phone. Like, see it, like, okay, well, she put up a photo for a themed photo shoot that she does once a year. One year she was really covered up. One year she was a tomboy or something else.
It was like a bathing suit kind of situation.
And this year it was like, let me just be a little sexier.
She's probably someone that would be really good to work with you.
She is such a disgusting whore now, I'm telling you. She should be ashamed of herself.
I'm not going to slut shame anybody.
But I think she would be good to carry on the message, like to help with the after, after the.
Well, I could tell that she was impacted by the comment. Because she single out of all the hundreds of comments, she singled out one comment.
Don't say who it was from, but what
the person was just saying, well, I thought yesterday you were at the White House and you were all about Hillary Clinton and women empowerment, as if that was the only way of really showing her own individual empowerment. But it was more descriptive of basically how you're a fraud.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating as a woman to feel like you're just one thing. Like, there's so many different facets to who you are as a woman, and as women we're allowed to examine them, but society doesn't seem to like.
Well, yeah. So people would be like, Melissa Ford, she did videos.
Yeah.
The video girl.
So I've got to be a stupid bitch.
No,
but not even that. That's literally your only accomplishment in life. And that, and it's just, they do that with me. Oh, the stripper. Oh, the bald-headed stripper. Yeah. It's like.
Well, I think there's a real life example with you too. When the game had the song that said,
we know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Every time I see him,
she didn't have a Honda Accord, although one day she took an Uber outside. It was a Honda.
I was like, I'm not getting in that fucking shit.
But he was able to throw that label on her, and it stuck with her, like,
forever.
So we're here on the radio one day, and I say, because we have a friend, she has a friend named Colin who I came to meet, and I said something about you and Colin. We're hanging out. Well, the blog said she was fucking Colin Kaepernick, so she called me. She was crying and really.
That ain't a bad thing.
No. But here's the thing.
But wait. Let me say something.
Okay.
But I shut her down. Like, what the fuck are you crying for? Like, who fucking cares?
Okay, but then see what I said to you.
It's not easy. It's not easy.
But I didn't see that perspective.
Exactly. So what had happened was we were talking about a mutual friend, Colin. It was not Colin Kaepernick, but the blogs just made it be Colin Kaepernick. And he's involved in a relationship with Ness Nitty on Instagram.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
love
she's
her. She's amazing. I don't know Colin from a can of fucking paint, but instantly I'm his side bitch on my 40th birthday. The picture came out on my 40th birthday and I'm somebody's side bitch.
Yeah.
I was like,
She had a meltdown.
I had a meltdown. Donald Trump became fucking president the next day. I was mortified. I literally, it was, shut up. It was horrible, you know? So it continues up until this day. Like I'm stronger now, but still affected by the negative things that people can say to try to just dismantle.
So go to the
come and hang out with your girl.
Walk.
Come and hang out with your girl.
Okay, go to the slut walk. Hang out.
I'll be auntie.
She gonna come to my house. We're gonna have some one-on-one time. Me and her as well. We're gonna develop a sisterhood. And
cool.
I mean, you're stronger. You're stronger.
I love to see people stop with the double standards of women, of course, and I'd also love women to also not just lead with their sexuality.
Why?
Because we're more than just sexuality, and it's the same thing you're speaking.
We are.
Just lead with just. I said just lead with that.
That's not how they treat us.
I know. I said I would like that. You know what I mean? I feel like.
Yeah, but that's not how it is. Like, let's stop calling each other sluts. It's never gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
The thing with women, it's like you need to cover up. Like, you know how guys are like, that's wifey, but I definitely want to fuck her.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You know, we can't say that. We can't be like, you know, oh, he would be a good dad, but I just want to fuck him. Like, we're thinking that shit, but we don't, you know, it's not appropriate for us to say it. You know what I'm saying? And so
there's too much thinking going into what
it's always okay for guys.
You don't want to be a woman
to do all this shit.
But you understand when I said don't just lead with your sexuality?
Well, but
like Instagram has revealed that a lot. Like there's women that are probably brilliant, but they think that they only need to lead with, that's the opposite, right? That you only need to show that. And there's nothing like why.
Claudia and I have talked about
we talk about this all the time,
yeah.
especially coming from the modeling world, the video.
Yeah.
Like that's how you get put in a box, and then we can't complain about it afterwards. So I feel like there's nothing wrong with like encouraging our women to lead with their brains more. Mm-hmm. And so you can. That's not saying
I get it, but like
it's not saying to not be sexy. It's not saying not be sexual.
I get it, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm extremely smart, right? Mm-hmm. And I also like to be naked,
right?
So I can do both. And I understand what you're saying, but at the end of the day, for me personally, and people and women that follow my slut walk, it is sexual liberation, right? It is you as a, not you as a man, but you as a man.
I'm sitting right here.
A guy, you as a man, can't tell us how to be sexual beings, what we should be into, when we should cover up. What we should wear, what is wifey material, if a guy, I've seen this so many times where a guy cheats on his girlfriend or his wife, right? Mm-hmm. If she leaves, she's not a real one. I mean, she's just like, but if she stays, that's really what wifeys really need to do, But like, what happens when the girl cheats and gets pregnant by somebody else? Right? What happens then? These guys can have all these side babies. These guys aren't sticking around for us. They're just not. We're gone at that point. Mm-hmm. And we're slandered through our families and everything. Mm-hmm. But the guys are never slandered. And then society almost forgets that it ever happened. Mm-hmm. It's like, I can't even understand how that even works. It's like, no, he actually had a baby on her. Like he literally went and ejaculated without a condom inside of another woman and gave her a baby while they were together. But she stuck around, so like that's wifey. That's exactly how you're supposed to be. Yeah. I'm the type of person that would tell you, fuck no. If you want to stay around because you love him, I get it 100%. I get it 100%. But don't do that for society. Now you're in a miserable fucking marriage where you're raising someone else's kid just because society is making you stay around. It's bullshit.
And so you're not saying that for women who choose to tell their daughters to be conservative, or for girls to decide to stay conservative, that they're not that there's no power in that. That's their choice. Yes. You're saying for women who decide to be revealing, have as equal amount of sexual partners as a man, who want to be naked if they want.
Not even
that's
equally
okay.
No, I'm not. Yes, that. But I'm also saying that, don't be ashamed of your sexuality. We are taught to be ashamed of that. You understand? Like, oh, my bathing, is it too revealing? Is this too much? But guys walk around with their shirts off all day. We can't have our shirts off. We can't free the nipple because guys will fucking, drool all over us and touch us inappropriately. Like we're asking for them to touch us and we're not. This is what we feed our children with. This is how our children grow. This is how it was from the beginning of time. But we can't have our breast out. We're just not allowed to.
And so to those that think that objectification of that, or putting out images that creates objectification, that shouldn't be ruled as a reason why anything happens, or it shouldn't even be considered as adding to.
In a perfect world, in a perfect world, no, I wouldn't want it to be like that.
So when do you accept that you're a role model, or when do you accept that you have a platform, or you've created a movement?
I will never say that. If someone else says that, like, Amber, you're my role model, I'll be like, look, I don't really want to be. I'm just being me. If you want to follow me, then that's cool. But ultimately, I want to, because I feel like a role model is like, when I met Slash, for example, I was like, Slash, you're my hero. And he was like,
Slash from Guns N' Roses for all the African Americans who don't.
I totally know.
I just got his whole body's had it. It's almost done.
But. Wow.
He wasn't in the threesome.
Oh, I wish.
Flash, if you're listening.
But I actually would never want to fuck Slash because I want to keep him up here. Like I don't want to see him as a human. Mm. But I was like, you're my hero. And he was like, that's a lot of fucking pressure. And I was like, damn, you're right. Like, that is a lot of pressure.
That's
and
true.
then I met him 5 times and like cried for 5 times, like every time. It was just a lot at that point. But
so when you and Charlamagne, she's a friend of Charlamagne, I'm friends of Charlamagne. When you all slammed Tyga and said basically he was a piece of shit or his music was sucked, did you do that for China, or was that pretty much you just think he's a whack rapper?
That. I didn't do that. He did that.
And you just agreed?
He hacked my Twitter.
Okay.
And so when I did the video, I was like, fuck Charlamagne. I didn't say like, yeah, he is a whack rapper. I didn't say none. I was actually at Tyga's house the next night and he was like,
come on, man.
Really am. And I was like, yo, it wasn't me, bro.
Because like Tyga is tired of taking L's. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to start a Tyga.
No, I like Tyga, man. And I love his son.
I'm starting Tyga Walk because I feel like it's just so many people walking all over him at this point.
People need to stop slandering the Tyga name, the brand. Is that what you're saying?
No, Tyga.
No, Tyga's cool. Shout out to Tyga, yo. He's cool as hell. Like, I got nothing but love for
He's
him.
a nice
I
guy.
love King.
Shout out
King
to
is
Abe.
like my nephew.
So what do you? So China's a Kardashian now, and with that whole thing.
China is not a Kardashian now.
Well, she tried to get the name. They
She
said.
didn't try to get the name.
Oh.
She didn't.
Well, Angela did. Well, I don't know what
No.
happened. That's what the blogs were saying. I don't know what the blogs were
Oh,
saying.
but then it must be true. If it was
And
on
Hollywood
the
Unlocked
internet.
said it. Okay, so
Jesus Christ.
do you think that move that China made though was just a boss move? Is just a bad bitch who just took control, or do you think that? I mean, what do you think about that?
I think she did whatever she wanted to do, and she's happy. She has a beautiful daughter.
Beautiful. daughter.
So cute.
And that's the thing that it's like it takes a man to ejaculate inside of you to have a baby. So why is everybody on China like she fucking trapped somebody?
God, Rob's like a
it
brother. I
takes
don't see that.
two. It takes 2 to make a baby. They wanted to have a baby and they had a baby.
It was
It's exactly what happened.
an amazing move.
Well, it's very rare for society,
Chill,
especially
yo, chill.
black folks, to criticize a man.
No, listen,
It's always
I've never met-
It's very hard for them to get the criticism.
I've never met Black China. I've seen her pushing that big old house down the street. I fuck with her. I love Rob. I love the kid. Everything. I love the whole thing. As a consumer of pop culture who could say what I want and get hit later for it, that shit was amazing. So I wish everybody well.
I really got to like her watching her show. Like I had no idea of her personality. I saw her
Still
at King of
fucking
Diamonds
bitches.
back in the-
She's
I love her
She's
personality.
very interesting. My dear friend
She was fun on
China.
the show.
So back to Slut Walk. You were working with a good friend of mine, Amber Raspberry, on a documentary.
Yeah.
Where is that? Is that going to come out? Are we going to see that? So
Shit,
that
call her and ask her when that shit's gonna come out. I've been waiting. I think ultimately we're gonna, see the progression, and see maybe like 4 years of it in one documentary.
So you see the evolution.
Yeah.
Well, there'll be messaging in that, and then everybody will go, ah.
Oh, we get it now.
Okay, so don't forget to
understand.
put the unpublished or the unedited or unphotoshopped version.
Yeah,
of
I'm
that
gonna
photo out.
ask for it. Well, this is the thing, like I said earlier, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Yeah.
They're gonna talk about my tattoos. They're gonna talk about my skin isn't gonna look as airbrushed, which I get. But it was mainly about the bush, the hair. And it made a valid point that everyone's like, she's nude. Your vagina is out all over the internet. And it really wasn't. Like, you did not see my vagina. You didn't see anything in there.
Some people might say that you were splitting hairs there, but I'm sorry.
Shut
I
up.
couldn't fucking
You had
resist.
to
And
go
so,
there.
and,
Had to.
and so,
So yeah, I mean, either way, I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. I'm not gonna. They won't let me put anything on Instagram anymore. So
you
I'm not
started
trying
this-
to get my page deleted at this point.
so my writers, we have a chat group with people all over the place, and they put, Jason, when you get a chance, search Amber Rose challenge. So by the way, there were some cats doing it. There were fucking men doing it.
That was awesome.
So I mean, listen, you know how to start a conversation. If you could go back in time and not answer Kanye's call and just never call him back, would you do that?
I felt like that for a long time. Why did I get myself into this? Why did no one warn me? Why didn't he say that my life was going to be like this? I could have been happy. I was living in the Bronx. I I was happy. I had a lot of friends. I could walk around the streets. No one really knew me well. I had a really, really happy life. And then, you know, and then it wasn't, and then I had fame. And then I had fame with no money.
That's the worst.
Mm-hmm. And then I was like, fuck. Like, I would go out of my apartment. Like, after Kanye, I would leave my apartment. And I'm like, I really don't have money like that. But I'm famous as fuck because paparazzi's outside. And then I had to figure out how to, you know, start and find my way in life and make money.
So are you happy now?
Well, she told me she has a $4 million house and a Bentley, so you're doing okay.
No,
but are you happy?
I have a Wraith. I have a Rolls Royce.
Sorry.
White on white.
There's levels.
But I made a shitload of fucking money because I worked my ass off, and I didn't get anything for free besides the fame. That's all I got. All the money that I have, all the employees that I have behind me, that's all me. You know, I do all that. I take care of them, and you know, I'm a boss, and it's hard being a boss. You gotta take a lot of shots and a lot of punches. You gotta deal with a lot of shit. But you know, I'm well respected. When I go out, I am well respected by everyone in the industry. So, you know, some internet trolls and shit, fuck them.
So when your vagina's on Instagram, does Dr. Phil call you and say, Amber, what's going on?
What's up, Uncle?
Because I thought
Uncle
that was
Phil?
a pretty, I mean, I'm telling you, this is why you're fascinated. It was a pretty interesting partnership to see that
Me and Dr. Phil.
you two came
Yes.
together.
He loves me. Yeah.
How did that even happen? Like the interaction between the two of you and then the idea for the show. I'm presuming it was yours, or did he help facilitate the design?
So he has he owns the show The Doctors on Daytime, and they asked me to come on and talk about slut shaming.
Was that the first time about the sex scamming, or was that a different show? Because you were on there when somebody was using you.
They were trying to use me for like a prostitute scandal situation or whatever. But I think that was after the one you're referring to. But yeah, so I went on to talk about slut shaming and my slut walk, and I just killed that shit. And then I went in the back, and his son Jay was like, "You need your own show. You need to be on TV." And I was like, "Fuck yeah, make it happen." And then, you know, but people in Hollywood, they say shit like that all the time. You're just like, all right, we'll see. But then it happened, and then I met Dr. Phil very, you know, like a couple days after that. And we fell in love, and I fell in love with his wife, and it was just like we were just one big happy family. And then we figured it out, and we had a show. So
is it true that you're going to be hosting TRL?
No, that's not true.
Okay, but you've heard that.
I don't think I've heard that.
Yeah, people are like sending me messages that you're hosting TRL. But I know it's coming back, but that you're going to be hosting it.
That's not true.
Okay, is the talk show coming back?
I'm doing some cool shit, man. That's all I'm gonna say.
I heard MTV picked it up.
Tight-lipped.
They're
No
gonna
pun
work with
intended.
you. MTV, and then a producer from like the Wendy's show.
See here, we do 2.5 hours of talk about any fucking thing you want, and now we get to the end.
That's the thing you're not going to talk about.
Hold on, but there is one thing I did want to ask about you, because when we were, you know,
This is part 1, part 2.
yeah, exactly. Didn't I tell
know.
you? Okay, you didn't even listen to me. Anyways, one thing I did say when we were talking about you know, the idea of you coming up to the show, one thing that really irritated me was when you went on Tyrese and Rev Run's show. What the fuck was that shit called?
It's not you, it's men.
You said a nigga's opinion don't matter, whatever. I don't
Something
know.
like that, exactly. And that was one of the, you know, regardless of whatever opinion I had of you, you know, in the slut walk and, you know, not understanding, I felt like they brought you on just to browbeat you. And I thought it was disgusting. I thought that they should have been ashamed of themselves.
Yeah, but
and
I killed them though.
I was gonna say, you absolutely handed them their asses back to them, and I think
I
it's
missed
awesome.
it. I don't.
And so on behalf of myself and a lot of other women that were appalled by what they did, I just wanted to say congratulations and say thank you for the fact that you handed them their asses, because that was disgusting. Did you ever see that, Claudia?
I didn't watch it. It got canceled.
It
right?
was exactly.
Yeah, of course it got canceled.
Shady.
Sorry, I missed it. What channel was it on?
It was VH1.
It was on OWN.
Was it on? Oh
think it was
God!
on
I missed it.
I I thought it was on VH1.
Well,
See, that's
anyways,
the
it's
problem.
gone.
I didn't support it.
It's gone.
on.
Listen, if Oprah saw them shaming a woman, I'm sure there were some conversations.
Well, no, Rev Run said, I mean, and I felt bad because I like Rev Run. He's cool. But I think that, they're just really old school. And Tyrese is just, I can't with him.
Not a fan of the Twitter.
I literally cannot. Like, I can't. But
what do you think about the comments Tyrese had to say about the women's hair, black women's hair and braids?
I literally, I can't. Like, I will go the fuck off in here right now. Like, I will
Feel
start
free.
a fire.
Do tell.
Well,
because your hair has been a subject of like nobody can really. I mean, let me say this before you say I'm a slut shamer or a hair shamer. Anybody can do what the fuck they want. If you got alopecia, let it fall out. If you want to shave it off, but you have a different head and your hair is very different. But you're known for having your hair. Okay, so when he was that critical, did you say anything online about it, or did you say anything?
I don't think I seen it until later. And then at that point, I was just like, but I've spoken to him on the phone though.
Okay.
That's why I was telling you, I'm not really like I don't like to do back and forth unless it's beneficial to me. I'm not gonna go back and forth like that because it's just like with Pierce, it's like I'm gonna teach you something at this point. But yeah, I've had a conversation with Tyrese and I'm just like, dude, listen, nah, it does not work like that. Like, this is not life. Like, I need to sit with you and really like teach you some shit because you just really don't get it. He just doesn't. And I saw him at the movie awards and I wanted to go up to him and be like, man, look, I don't hate you. Like, I'm here to educate and bring awareness. But like the shit that you're saying, bro, I think he said something the other day too.
I don't know what. I mean, he's a singer.
He just seems to be filled with a lot of self-hatred, and he just kind of projects that onto other people. Like his rhetoric is almost misogynistic. Maybe not almost. Let me take out the word almost. It is misogynistic.
She's
You're being nice.
She's the politically correct one.
I am.
You are being so nice. Yes. I mean, it is misogynistic. It's egotistical. It's it's him forcing his views on women. It's horrible.
Women don't need men trying to be experts on being a woman.
Right.
Well, when it comes
to
our
hair.
Well, I was going to say when it comes to somebody like Donald Trump, who's in the news. Clearly, Donald Trump wants to control whether or not there's funding to Planned Parenthood, which is in African American communities, and that helps underprivileged communities. But I've always said that with the 5 sisters I've had, if they've had abortions or not, or whatever, that's their choice. What do you feel about Donald Trump's position on wanting to defund Planned Parenthood because women are having abortions?
Do I really need to answer this question?
No, I just want to ask.
Planned Parenthood has birth control, condoms,
cancer screenings.
Yeah, I mean,
it's necessary.
It's like fucking. We are so lucky to have them. Has anyone been to Africa?
Yeah.
Okay, then I don't need to say anymore. You get it.
There's an argument from what the GOP is doing is really the defunding of Planned Parenthood is more so because the country is becoming browner and a lot of white women are going to get abortions. So if they shut that down and then they also stop the Muslims from coming in and also the Mexicans from coming in, the Latinos, the darker nationalities, like right now, Latinos are the number one minority in America, followed by Black. So together, that's a huge block.
Right.
And last year was the first year that there was less white births than Latino births in the country. So the white man is getting very paranoid. Sorry, I'm on my pro-Black thing right now.
Why do you think Jeff Sessions is there to put niggas in prison?
Right. So let's bring back the war on drugs. So let's get rid of all these brothers. Let's close our borders down and let's stop the Latinos from coming in. Let's stop abortion so white women will be forced to have these babies because they want to take their race. They want their racial dominance back in America. That's exactly
because for 8 years, Black people were winning with Obama in office, and now these white guys are like, shit, it's our fucking turn.
Yeah,
and the white women were the ones that voted the most.
They voted for Trump,
which is so fucking.
They voted against their own interests, and they will be paying for it.
Do you think was this? You didn't say this. Somebody said this to me the other day that Hillary Clinton lost because she had a vagina.
You
just said that, right? Okay. Yeah. I was like, where the fuck is somebody? We've interviewed so many people at Pride where people had a lot to say about Hillary. Do you think the country will be ready for a woman after Donald Trump?
Yeah, fuck yeah. I think we were ready for a woman before Donald Trump. Like I said, you know, what happened is that the minority vote just didn't vote at all. Mm-hmm. And, you know, everyone should have just voted for Hillary because all the white people in America, all the people in Utah and Kansas and fucking, you know, in the little suburbs, they voted for Trump and got him in office. Or Russia helped out with that as well.
Yeah. And people had that stupid protest vote. I'm going to vote for the Green Party. That's not going to get you anywhere. That just took away.
It was a wasted vote. Stupid.
Yeah,
it was wasted. It was so stupid.
And with the margins 2-3% in some places of, you know, voter turnout. You get 2-3% of the black votes to stay home. And guess what? That was enough to sway, turn the election.
Well, that's the thing. All the major cities are full of minorities, and then you have the suburbs, you know,
and the flyover states.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
I do believe there was some trickery with the voting machines. I know a lot of people who said they hate Democrat.
You in these conspiracy theories.
I'm sorry.
It. Okay.
You guys sound like my mom. That is literally my mom.
Behold the pale horse. Read that book.
I'm going to call Olivia
My
Pope.
mom would be like, yeah, I was watching this YouTube video with Public Enemy and Professor Griff.
I like already.
I'm like, oh, mommy.
I'm going to call Olivia Pope.
Wait, is your mom the white parent?
No, my mom is African. My mom is Cape Verdean.
Okay.
But
my dad is white.
You are the same complexion though, right? You and your mom?
No, I'm white. I'm whiter like my dad. Okay. I came out really light.
Where's your mom live? In Philly?
No, she lives with me.
A lot of Cape Verdeans, I'm from Rhode Island, all in Rhode Island.
Yeah, we have family in Rhode Island, Nantucket, Boston.
A lot of people don't know what Cape Verdean is. It's on the west coast of Africa.
You look Cape Verdean.
I know. All my friends are.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
So what is the biggest misperception of Amber Rose?
Biggest misconception? I don't know. What is it? Tell me.
I don't know. We don't write bad things. I've only said one bad thing.
I mean, I feel like the misconception would be that you're of low level intelligence and it's related strictly to beauty. As far as I'm concerned, that's my perception because that was always put on to me. People were always like, when I would open my mouth and speak, they'd be like, oh my God, you're so smart. I'm like, imagine fucking that.
She speaks so well.
Shit, looks and she
maybe
string a sentence together.
Maybe one misperception I will say is that online, you're petty at times.
I've never been petty.
She's the queen of pettiness, and we're here for it.
Wait. Are you being funny? You're being funny, clearly. Okay, well, you're the queen.
No, I just don't take shit from people. I don't start trouble. I don't start fights. People start fights with me, and I finish them.
Listen, but what I'm saying is that my opinion is you can be petty than a motherfucker, and I live for it. Trust me. There are times where I will pull the car over.
I am a sweetheart. I have a compassionate, big, loving heart.
So that's what I was going to say. Maybe one misconception is from the phone call because I don't know if you remember when you first called. I was ready for you to just go in, and you weren't going in. So the conversation was very productive. But I think from your online antics, when people do start with you. And I'm not even talking about the anal stuff and all the other things and whatever. But you are the queen of petty when you want to be.
No, I am the queen of clapbacks.
Okay,
queen of
clapbacks.
I'm not
the
queen of petty.
Yes,
because I don't do petty shit. If I want to do petty shit, I would have been petty with you.
Yeah,
I don't do petty shit. You know what I mean? Or Tyrese, like. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, if I really have a problem with you or I want to figure something out, I'll get on the phone and I'll call you. But I'm not going to be starting fights and arguments online. People start with me. Piers Morgan started with me.
Yeah.
You know?
But the misconception I think that I took away from the phone call was you were really cool, chill.
I'm chill, man. I'm super chill. I love my son. I love my family. I'm a down home Philly bitch. And
so is AOD going to open with Amber Rose? Or I know you're probably going to say you can't talk about it because of the courts.
I can't talk about
it. Okay, fuck.
Well,
I tried.
But yeah.
There's this misnomer out there that I work for AOD. I don't work for no fucking body. I work for myself.
Me too, brother.
So I want to be very clear. But we interviewed them and, we wanted to interview. But now we know it's in the legal hands. So
yeah.
If you open
that's
whatever.
What happens when you get money. Let the lawyers take care of it.
All right, so
like a boss.
What are the last words? You have the last word.
You want me to have the last word?
Slut Walk 2017 on October 1st at Pershing Square.
I'm gonna go
downtown
to
LA.
And the women's
I want to come
conference.
to Slut Walk with fucking with
you need to come in a thong,
drones.
Jason.
Don't fucking play me. This is not about me. Trust me. I go to Slut Walk in a thong. I'm going to jail. But I'll come.
Can you imagine?
We'll bring drones. Listen, dick sucker, or whatever she told you.
Likewise, touche. Takes one to know one, honey.
Dick sucking hoe, relax.
Dick sucking nigga.
All right, listen.
That's when you got to be like, I am, and
I don't like all this pussy power.
continue.
You don't like it, do you?
But I'd like to come. No, I'm allergic to it. By the way, we'll come. We won't come. We'll attend and cover and drones and mics and I want to learn as much as I want to be a critic. I want to learn.
And this year I'm doing a full speech. So I did a impromptu speech the first year. The second year I was just like,
the first year
I was everywhere. I was like, this camera. I'm like, because I told my production, I was like, that can never happen again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because I missed most of the slut walk. I was doing interviews all day, but it was just like for dumb shit. Mm-hmm. Like people kind of like jabbing. I was like, this is not the type of slut walk that I want to have.
And DJ
Duffy, the slut walk was amazing, but I just wanted to be more on stage and like it takes years to get it done. Like I wanted to enjoy my day with my girls. Mm-hmm.
DJ Duffy, when she got on Basketball Wives, I almost didn't even fucking recognize her from your slut walk #1 to that.
Yeah,
because she had the longer hair, all kinds of rainbow shit going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Duffy and DJ Charisma are the two official slut walk DJs, and DJ Dirty Draws as well, which he's out here in LA.
Hell of a name.
Yeah,
he's a good DJ.
Okay, he's amazing.
You gotta be.
Well, Floyd and I are having a yacht party, I think, on Saturday. So you're more than welcome to come.
I'll be there.
All right, but
is there gonna be hot guys there so I can suck dick and be a hoe?
We're not gonna end the show by turning me on. We're gonna say, but thank you for giving us the look because you didn't have to, and I appreciate it.
No, for sure. So make sure you guys go to amberroseslutwalk.com if you need more information. Donate, even if I think it's a $10 minimum. I would like everyone in here to donate. And the
website. What's the website?
amberroseslutwalk.com.
The website is clean.
Yeah. amberroseslutwalk.com. You could donate. You can volunteer. If you want to come and volunteer, that would be amazing. If you live in the LA area, and do some more research online. I mean, it's a whole bunch that you can read and find out where your money's going when you donate. And so thank you for having me.
No, thank you so much for coming by. This was amazing.
Good stuff.
Sure. Yeah. And I know that a lot of people learned a lot.
Part 1 and part 2 for sure.
Right.
Exactly. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, everybody.